Saturday night football's landed in a good spot. Perfect night, as we just heard. Are the Saints on the rise? Are Port Adelaide legit? We've got a couple of hours to find out.
Laddams ran straight at Paddy Ryder, right out of fresh airy. Houston to Boak. Had a superb start to the year, and this is Bradley Hill. Just keep an eye on his running capacity tonight, Bradley Hill. Remarkable the way he covers the ground. Now this is Carlisle, and Gresham's going to send the Saints inside forward 50. Memory from the side. Good fist from behind Jonas to Byrne-Jones. The former skipper here, Boak. Piercing ball down the line. And Carlisle can't quite keep it in.
Be interesting to see. Steele does go to Travis Boak. Already 2 touches, Travis Boak. We know Steele can play those roles. Last week he was freed up, but has taken on the tagging roles a lot in his career.
Paddy Ryder up against his former club, just massages it down to Hill. Clark having a very good year. Gets it to Jack Steele. Long forward entry. Marshall caught under the footy. King front and centre. The big man has just slipped it across the face. They'll have a stoppage inside forward 50.
They're a good first quarter team, St Kilda. Already a couple of inside 50s. Over the last 3 games, their score 4 in the first quarters is 14-7 to their opposition 3-5. So they're a fast starting team, and with these shortened quarters this year, it's really important to start fast.
Marshall won the hit down. Houston was immediately tackled by Dan Butler. Just got a little glimpse of the agility and the speed of Max King before. 203 centimetres. Such an exciting prospect. Marshall might have been grabbed, and here is a golden opportunity for the Saints. First up, Laddams just a little overzealous there, and no choice but to pay that free kick.
Yeah, as soon as the arms go around Darce, they're always going to pay those free kicks in marking contests or in the ruck contests.
Ryan Marshall was runner-up to Seb Ross in last year's Best and Fairest. He's become one of the Saints' most important players, and no problems there. First goal to the Saints. Nice finish from the big man, and they've got that luxury now. He's a capable forward, with Paddy Ryder taking the centre bounce. Rowan Marshall showing a bit of skill. A couple of big units there, Max King and Rowan Marshall up forward.
It's a good weapon for them. It means that Ryder doesn't have to go inside the forward 50 and take those ruck hit-outs. Marshall can do that. So a good start here for St Kilda. A nice finish from Marshall around the corner. Good to have him rucking inside forward 50 with Ryder taking the centre bounces at the moment. Exciting young forward line when you've got him and King down there. The future's bright.
Good start for the Saints. 5 goals won on the season for Marshall, so accuracy no problem for him. How good does the Adelaide Oval surface look, by the way? Absolutely superb. Back in the middle. Ryder down. Jones has been a good addition. Stuck his head over it. Flicked it forward. Now Sinclair. Just a bit too much heat on the kick. And Cleary happy to see it over. And it's deliberate.
Let it go, let it go. Just not just, no, straight to the line.
Matt Stevick, one of the better umpires in our game.
Tom, hold.
No hesitation.
No, he's coming out, thank you. Hold there.
You've got to disguise the fumble better than that. That was always a free kick.
No, stay there.
Really nice kicks, the King brothers.
This for a big start. He's fanned it across the face.
Just here.
That's the deliberate. When you look at it in slow motion especially, there's not too much arguing.
So here's Justin Westhoff. He was initially dropped out of the side. He's been a late inclusion with Trent McKenzie going out, and he's going to play deep in defence in the role McKenzie's been playing. There's Big Charlie, split the pack right up the middle. Carl Lamont. Laddams was really good last week. Ebert back in, Connor Rosie. Something good always happens when this young man's got the ball. Marshall at the back, well played Carlisle. Bradley Hill. Thought that footy might have been out, but umpiring best position. They've worked it pretty well there, the Saints.
Sinclair drills one down the line and finds Membry. Membry penetrating low ball. Laddams at the back. Dersmer a little fumble. Plenty of time to get it to Rosie. Soda's down to you.
Yeah, Justin Westhoff into the side for McKenzie, who hurt his back. Here's Westhoff just about getting involved now, but been given a reprieve. He was dropped. They were going to drop him last week, but then because Laddams was coming in for his first run for the year, they wanted that little bit of height for some insurance, but they decided this week that he was going to go out, but obviously that McKenzie injury has just given him that chance to come back in.
Thank you, Soda. Always got good insight on what's happening in South Australia, Soda. Very well connected. Max King came out and presented nicely. So this is Marshall and Laddams. Again, a little bounce off the head of Houston. St. Jones, but his aggressive tackle was good. Applying some nice pressure here. Hunter Clark to Hill. And Jonas, the captain, able to take care of that one.
It's a great start by St Kilda.
Peter, thank you.
Getting first use of the footy, 4-1 clearances, contested possession 7-4 against the benchmark in those areas.
So important interstate.
Yeah,
try and take the crowd, even if it's not a full house. It's still noisy every time you play at the Adelaide Oval. Slicing through Port, deep entry, double fist from the defence, but the ground level players arrive, and Billings was able to be composed with a bit of help. He goes long down the line. It gets through the hands. Mays, Hartlett, Byrne-Jones.
How good a year's he having, Byrne-Jones?
And Wines has to stand up in a tackle and gets smashed into the ground.
High ball.
And it's going to be a baller.
Richo, just a couple of matchups for you. Dre Gresham has gone to Travis Boak. Dougal Howard's got Charlie Dixon. And Carlisle is with Marshall.
Thanks, Sodas.
Holding. Port Adelaide, holding.
So, ruck free kick either way. This time, Laddams to aim on. He's going to get run down from behind. Butler does that so well. And they've turned it over. Sinclair's hands a little errant. He wanted to find high. Mays, former Brisbane Lion, and ever reliable Darcy Byrne-Jones back there to Cleary. Dersmer had to go, and he did. He'll struggle to keep that one in. Power fans want to deliver it. They get into it. They were over that, JB. The Power fans, they're as good as you see.
They do. They're enjoying this season, and why not? Started on top of the ladder and have not relinquished that spot once. Steele on the up. Hunter Clark. Also lurking was Farrell. And a ball up.
Round and Peter.
The positive for Port is getting to the position they are. Only the second time in their history they've been 6-1, and they've done it being in a hub situation. So very, very positive for Port Adelaide.
Sinclair long. Cleary helped by the fact that King went to ground. Where does he go with the ball? Just dribbles it down the line. Rosie good enough to mop it up to Mays. Just a running barrel. Long ball. Defensive fist was good. Ebert then inside 50. Big one-on-one. Gray normally wins him. He had to look around at the umpire. Dixon comes in. Good pickup from the big man. Powell Pepper around the body. Porter got there first. Good finish.
Wilkie did really well in that one-on-one against Robbie Gray, as you called. JB, when he's in that situation, normally you back him in, so
Trouble.
Wilkie did well. They couldn't clear it out at 50, though, and that was a quality finish from Powell Pepper around the corner. Didn't like that decision, the Port fans. They thought that Wilkie maybe held Robbie Gray. Didn't matter in the end. Well done, Dixon. Handball out the back to Pal Pepper. And Abby, what's the atmosphere like down there?
Oh, it's incredible. Port fans loved that Pal Pepper goal. But as I said pre-game, guys, 20,000 allowed in attendance tonight. But that certainly does sound like a full house. Everyone's super pumped to be back.
Thanks, Abby. And we're super pumped to see fans back. There's Michael Voss, the great Michael Voss, spending a little bit of time with Robbie Gray at ground level. Adams did well to climb over the top. Pal Pepper, fresh from that last goal, to Boak. Little 9-iron to centre half forward. Wilkie got first hand on it. Now the pressure comes from everywhere. And Wilkie got ragdolled. Billings flicked it back out. Skipper Geary showing a little bit of composure. Hine, nice little goose step there. Worked the handball over the top.
Holding. It's 50 metres.
And 50. So we've seen a bit of that in recent weeks. Player getting their jumper held, Richo, not allowed to continue their run. It's an automatic 50.
Yeah, Luke Hodge was talking about that last Saturday night. We saw one of those. I can't remember a lot of them being paid in recent years, but there have been some in recent weeks.
So Jack Billings, beautiful left foot kick. Marshall was taken off it. Max King had a shot off the ground. And Riley Bonner back there. They're still under a heap of pressure, the Power.
So let's just have a look at this incident from a little earlier on. Too much in that, boys? Have another look, I think.
Forward 50 stoppage here, the Saints. Laddams to the ground. Pal Pepper went and found it. Amon ripped in a tackle. Ollie Wines into the old inverted torp and over the line. Another look at it here, Richo.
Sinclair coming through there. Just tried to kick the footy off the ground. No, that was accidental. There was no intent there, I don't believe. He wasn't trying to bump.
Ball player Sinclair too, as a rule, as Boak handballs off to the running Pal Pepper. To half forward. And how much talent's there attached to this man.
He's had a good start, Rosie.
This is a good leg too on Farrell. He can flush it. Long ball, top of the square. Port still in number. Dixon does the following up work. And the Saints having to defend grimly.
He'd be disappointed, Charlie Dixon there. That was a genuine one-on-one and he had perfect position. He normally marks those.
Jonas did well. Through the hands of Mays. Power get another look at one and getting back in the right spot. Ben Patton did a nice job. Put himself in the right spot to Billings.
This is where they're so good, Port Adelaide, with their press. So hard to get through.
Saints normally like it in Billings' hands, and Marshall, that is really impressive.
And that's how you can get through with contested marks.
He's a real talent, Rowan Marshall. I feel like he's got a lot of great footy ahead of him. Hayes probably should have taken that now. Ryder, good chance open up for the Saints. That was a strange-looking kick. A lot of work from Ken. Seb Ross, I think it was, who got it to Dan Butler.
Play on.
Premiership Tiger. That might work out okay. Coming through Parker. Getting back with some courage. The Power defence. Paddy Ryder put his big frame into Ollie Wines. Kent got it out. Zach Jones got to get past Byrne-Jones. Butler again. Clever play. Centering kick. Bradley Hill from behind. Read it well. Off hands. Ebert back there. And eventually they've conceded a boundary throw-in. Being played at a nice intensity, this one.
Good defence there by Dersma. Brad Hill had a really good position to take that mark. It was a great kick by Butler to his advantage, but Dersma, in a one-on-one, did really well.
Both clubs getting a look at it early. Boak's hands always good. And that didn't quite work. Ross able to chop it out. And it's bouncing. That might be a hold. Against Membry.
Look at Membry's really enjoying having King and Rowan Marshall down in the forward line. Clear free kick there. Because at times, I reckon, last year, he was getting the #1 defender, Membry, and he's probably not tall enough to play that role. But with King down there and Marshall down there, gets some better looks at it, some different matchups.
Cleary long down the members' wing. Westhoff got it going forward.
Hold, Zach!
Only as far as Pat.
Umpire urging Patton to play on. Pretty well to step around Butters. A lot of numbers back there.
St.Kilda.
Free kick to the Saints against Cleary. And Matt Parker, welcome back into the side. First game for the year.
Who gets the free kick? Yeah. Not sure who it's against. Okay, time on.
Can't believe it, Jonas.
Looks like a clear hold of the arm to me.
Yeah, he's got his left arm there. I think that's a fair decision. He didn't allow him to get his arms up and mark the footy, so...
A fascinating exchange, wasn't that? Tom Jones then said, no, that was me that you paid it against, and I think you were wrong.
How often do the defenders think they've given one away, though, Darcy?
Single time they think they've been robbed. Matt Parker played 17 games last year. He's found his way back into the side, and you can see what he thinks about that kick.
Didn't even make the trip. Hartlett able to take an uncontested mark. Tries to pinpoint a target. Wines will get a free for a push.
Just here. Time on.
Good shot of what's ahead of him. Not a lot of room to move. Goes long for Dixon.
Line. Thanks, boys. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Sam.
Houston also having a really good season, starting to get some good minutes in the middle of the ground. Jones, kick smothered by Byrne-Jones. Another entry here for the Saints. Numbers back here for Port Adelaide, but they've still got to be careful.
Well played, Max King applied a good tackle. This is the former Lion Mays, and a clever kick. Laddams wins a fair bit of the footy, the big man. That from Hartlett, not great at all. Hunter Clark said, I can't believe that came my way, and he coughed it up as well. To Laddams.
Port Adelaide.
And the big man copped one on the way through, Peter Laddams. Got the 4 coaches' votes last weekend. The big Laddams.
Hold, play on.
Nice game, won a lot of the footy. Aim on. Very short ball that was to Powell Pepper. And you can see he just has decided he's going to jam it down the line. Where's Charlie Dixon? From behind, Georgiades. Second AFL game, kicked a couple on debut in round 1.
The good thing for St Kilda here is they've taken away the way Port Adelaide want to play. They want to dominate the time in forward half. They're the #1 inside 50 team in the competition. They've only had 6 inside 50s, so that's a win for St Kilda. They've taken away something from Port Adelaide early.
Peter, Paddy,
forward half, you can see there. Peter Adams looking like a villain out of a Die Hard movie. Not sure what he's trying to conjure up there, Big Richo.
It's more Bond, isn't it? Bond villain, I reckon.
That real sort of frosted look. Sinclair steps through with great talent. Steele, long ball forward. Gets to the back. This is where this man's been dangerous. Just the sliding turf. Maybe a little bit of dew. And it didn't bounce back for Dan Butler.
Hey, Sodies, you've been keeping an eye on Robbie Gray. As we have a look at that miracle shot from Dan Butler. What's happening with Robbie Gray?
Look, he hasn't had a touch, in fairness, so the ball's only been in their forward line, 6 times or so, but he's got Callum Wilkie on him. Now, Wilkie's a kid who played in a flag for North Adelaide, the Roosters, a couple of years ago on this ground. Mature age, he was picked up, best and fairest win at the Roosters, and he had a sensational year at the Saints last year, really exceeding expectations. So it's a massive job for him, but I reckon, given the way that he's taken AFL footy in the last 18 months, he'll be feeling pretty comfortable against Robbie.
Here's Todd Marshall. Dixon launches at it. And out the back, Powell Pepper. He's already got one. If it bounces, he'll have 2. Just slid across the face. Take that mark, Charlie Dixon. But if you get in his zone, Richo, you feel a bit of pain.
And did you see that, though? See how he attracted 3 St Kilda defenders? That's what he does. He's so big and strong. They all gravitate towards him, the defenders, and that means Port are going to have loose players at ground level.
Jonas thumps it back in the Pal Pepper direction. Keeps it in, and then got a hold. Got away with it. Did the Saints defenders. There's been a handful early in this game. It was Dougal Howard against his old club. Clean possession, Dixon. Oh, well done, Geary. Just body line the ball, did a great job. Jones hacks it out of there. Disputed ball, centre of the ground. Latham slides in. Kent picked it up. Ross. Kent. Smashed in the tackle.
They're rabid, the Port fans. You do not get more passionate fans, Richo, than the Port Adelaide hardcore supporters. They love it. He's in a bad way here, Dean Kent. Rolled his ankle, I think, by the look of that. We're going to update in a moment. Find out what Abby can tell us about that. Now this is Boat. He's trying to play for the free kick. Umpires are letting it go a fair bit tonight. Bradley Hill just had to get boots of ball. Sends it down the line. King made sure he won the footy. Good effort. Under a bit of pressure. Billings on the non-preferred. High up and under. Kent's trying to find a way. That's great courage. On one leg. Gave a contest.
Throw advantage.
Hines been paid the throw, and here come the power.
Dersma brings it away. All on his own on the wing is Dixon.
St Kilda won't mind him marking it up there. The inside 50 ones are the ones that kill you.
Houston swings it across ground for Ebert. Low ball, good ball. Robbie Gray, as we see Dean Kent making his way off the ground. That was you, Abby, in just a sec.
That was a great kick because Caulfield was back there loose. I thought he was going to be able to cut that off. Have a look at this. Look at number 1 there, Caulfield. He just went centre a little bit too much. Gray goes boundary side. He's trying to read. You've got to read the eyes of the kicker normally in that situation.
Well, after last week, Richo, this is shelling peas for Robbie Gray.
Not quite as much pressure here, JB.
Familiar territory for number 9. Oh, how good. He is the star of our game. It's only just a little bit of drift. He gets, it's a slight fade on a really well-struck 6-iron, isn't it? Has been an unbelievably good player for a long time.
Bit of Wacker Eunice, did you say before?
Exactly.
Bit of Wacker in swing.
Especially at this ground. They used to make sure that one side got a little bit roughed up and suddenly whooshka.
What about the Yorkers on him? Beautiful kick at goal, Robbie Gray. He loved it. Just having a look at this tackle there on Dean Kent from Hamish Hartlett. Didn't look too good, Abby.
No, it didn't. We're just having another look at that now. It's that right ankle. He tried to come off the ground and then the ball came in his direction, so he tried to play on, but he's hobbled off and gone straight down to the room, so I'll come back to you with an update on that one, guys.
Rolled on the inside, and they can be a lot worse than when you roll on the outside, if that makes sense. So thanks, Abby. We'll find out more about that. Riley Bonner. Normally a good left foot kick. Charlie's got good hands. He's attracting a crowd at the moment, as Joe said earlier. Brad Ebert.
Hold the ball, St.Kilda.
Incorrect disposal. Good defensive tackle. Saints get rolling.
Holds over.
This is Nick Hine. Debuted in round 14 last year. It's just his 14th game of AFL football. Got too close to the man on the mark. Dersma did really well. Butters, couple of the young guns combined. Ebert and Dougal Howard's dropped it, and they come from everywhere. He's got an issue now, and he drag it under. No.
Thank you. Straight up, please.
They don't take too kindly to a lot of things, the Port Adelaide fans, but one of their own deciding to leave and play for someone else
doesn't go down well.
Certainly not high on their list. Dixon tapped it into the path of Gray. Can he kick another one? No, he can't, but they keep it in. Here is Dougal Howard, and the siren sounds. Fascinating quarter of footy. And Port Adelaide take a 6-point lead into the first break.
In that first quarter, the Robbie Gray chest mark when he went back and kicked the goal. So St Kilda have done a fair few things right as well in this game. They didn't let Port Adelaide dominate the time in forward half. They didn't let them mark it inside 50. So a bit to like for Brett Ratton.
Gresham did a little toe poke forward. Byrne-Jones cleverly hacked it back the other way. Brad Ebert is trying to work it to his own advantage.
Great role player now, Brad Ebert. A long career at Port Adelaide. Just putting pressure on in the forward half, laying tackles. Does whatever job is needed from Ken Hinkley.
So once again, Laddams, look at the athleticism of Ryder. Again, off kick out of mid-air with a bit of purchase on it. Brad Ebert, a little fumble. And now Dougal Howard against his old club. Bounced out of the lap of Bonner. Nick Hines got some skills. Now Ryder, this is good build-up. Thought about Jones, delayed the handball, and now set him a bit of a task. Beautifully played, Darcy Byrne-Jones. Gets better and better. Once again, he's just such a solid player. Darcy Byrne-Jones, he was in the All-Australian selection conversation last year. Hunter Clark now for the Saints. Just wants bouncing around everywhere. Back to Mays. And in front, Howard probably should have taken the mark. Charlie worried him out of it. Georgiades into the side. Patton's got a bit of drama here. The Saints having to work through it. Back to Hunter Clark, and he just wanted it out of there big time.
Not going to go far. Through came Ryder, Sinclair, Billings. Kick just didn't quite have the journey. Port Adelaide can pump it back to half forward, and Big Charlie providing a nice big target. Wines tumbles it inside 50. There is Georgiades. Head over it, and ball goes out of play.
Have a look at this footage here. This is the St Kilda team at quarter time. Look at that, just doing some breathing exercises. Times have changed in footy. I reckon Paul Vanderhaar used to have a dart at quarter time, didn't he?
Yes. Well,
the mindfulness is big now, though.
Sure is, Richo. Big fan of it. Whatever works. Have had a bit to do with the 2020 AFL players, and this is the Saints' second game in 5 days here at the Adelaide Oval, having flown to and from Noosa.
Well, the great Sam Newman swears that in the 60s he had a teammate that used to have a pipe packed for him.
Yes.
And at three-quarter time, that got brought out on the tarpaulin, and a man would smoke a pipe on the ground.
I don't like to bring it up, but my old man Dave Darcy used to get his hair shampooed at half-time. Bulldogs.
It's serious.
It's a family disgrace. We don't bring it up too often.
He did not.
They had a club hairdresser, and he had the shampoo.
Duke, I would not be acknowledging that as a family fact. Ball's going to go inside 50 here, courtesy of Ebert.
It's unbelievable, Dars.
I don't say it with any great pride, Richo.
I really respect you at that.
Goes to top of the square. Dixon thought he was held out. Ryder took a pretty comfortable mark in the end. And gets to Sinclair. Jones has run on. Confronted by Hartlett. Goes down the members' wing. Good mark. Good stretch, Membry. King trying to present something down the line. Ball heads in that direction. It's busted out of his hands. Butler keeps it in. Cleverly, Gresham, we know, is a talented player. Laddams just gets rid of him. Boak with a thumping handball, and Porter away.
A little bit of space here. Hartlett is a penetrating kick. Did really well, Billings. Intelligently got a hand on it. Howard trying to keep it going forward. Well played by Ross. Back to Billings. Look at that. Spearing kick. Max King was the intended target, but Riley Bonner was in the way. The Power have got the numbers back here. Smothered off the boot. Hind did well. Parker's handball to King. Gave a little one through to Butler. He thought he was taken without possession.
Okay. You got it, Lee.
Nothing doing there, Richo.
He's a hard man to stop.
Peter.
Butler very elusive inside 50. Out of his goals that he's kicked this year, 13 goals, hasn't kicked one from a set shot yet, so he is the ultimate crumbing small forward, Dan Butler.
Adams, well picked up by Butters, and then he was busted in the tackle. Rosie's hands were good. Carl Amon. Houston. Wrapped up, and you've got no idea what's going to happen in these situations anymore.
The ball, St.Kilda.
All the players stop and wonder how it's going to be seen. You heard in the mic, no genuine attempt.
Play on.
So Billings, long in the King direction. Heap of players in the air. And that's out of play.
We're going to have a look at a Telstra tracker now for Ollie Wines in that first quarter. Covered 4 kilometres. That's a lot of work, and he's basically got back into defence, helped out. He's had 9 disposals. Ollie Wines had a good game so far.
This is Peter Adams. Just his second game for the year, his 7th career game, elevated after 3 years on the rookie list. He's been very comfortable with big man. He's 202 centimetres. Wins a lot of the footy. Paddy Ryder in front. Houston. Hard one for Robbie Grave, and with his supreme skill, couldn't pick that one up. Connor Rosie, Carlisle did well, now under pressure. Still supplied a bit of a block for Billings. Hind trying to work through. What a contest it is at the moment. How hard is it to win the footy in there? Houston wrapped up again. Carlisle got it back to Jack Steele. Chips one down the line. Laddams couldn't quite get a handle on it. Westhoff. Everything under enormous pressure here at the moment. Amon. Jonas. Jams it on the left foot. Gains about 45 metres. This is Georgiades. Nice handball to Connor Rosie. Clever kick inboard. Ebert trying to work it through. That was well played. Got it to Houston. Good looking kick. That one down. Houston has just missed.
Robbie, come back to the blue dot, please. Away from my call.
Excitement when they get rolling forward of the ball, Port Adelaide. They've got so much talent. Hill. Long and wide. King's hands are really good. Geez, that's an athletic jump, and the ball doesn't look like coming out. Just a little spill of the ball from Parker. Goes back and gets it. Inside 50, that'll work for Dan Butler.
And there's some of that St Kilda pace and transition of the footy there from their back half. They're very good at it. That's their first mark inside 50, but look at the run that they had. They got out the back. I'm sure that kick was 100% meant to go to Butler, but this will be, this is the King mark. This will be Butler's first set shot goal for the year if he kicks this.
Jeez, I love seeing that. Max King, what a beautiful jump and grab. So Butler, from the set shot, looks to have struck it nicely. He has.
So continues his outstanding season. Dan Butler crossing over from the Tigers. Costs St Kilda nothing. That's just a really good piece of recruiting by the Saints. That's his 14th goal for the year, putting on huge pressure in the front half of the ground. Nice set shot. Beautiful finish from Dan Butler. 14 goals now for the season. And aren't they rapt that they brought this man across to their club, the Saints fans?
Let's get down to Abby. You've been keeping an eye on the injured Dean Kemp. Kent?
I have, and it's good news for Saints fans. He's just ran it back out onto the ground, ready to take his place back in the game down in the forward line.
Good news that. Thank you, Abby, for that update. Little rolled ankle for Dean Kent, the former Demon. Nice to see him back out there. Rowan Marshall, that was beautifully done. Couldn't have put it any better into the lap of Jones. Spiralling torpedo, and Cleary, he did really well to mark that. Starting to get the recognition he deserves, Tom Cleary. Super athletic player. And that was a high-quality mark when his team needed it. Now Hartlett. Look at Charlie Dixon. Beautiful hands. Such an asset with Chosen. Have a power forward who can do that.
Contested marks down the line. They're just invaluable. Helps you get through the congestion if you can take contested marks.
Big switches on. The Power have worked it way back the outer side. Carl Amon, he's a left footer. See the Saints now scrambling their zone defence to get through, and done pretty well. Amon penetrating left foot kick. Carlisle in search of it. Marshall from behind. It was Rowan Marshall who shinned it forward. Butters flicks it back to Westhoff. Got a reprieve as a late inclusion. And well tackled by Zach Jones.
Straight up, thank you.
So this is good again by St Kilda. An inside 50 to Port Adelaide, but they get it straight back. No repeat entries, which is a trademark of the Port game.
Good user of the ball, Zach Jones found Butler.
Stay behind.
That's what's ahead of him. That's not his best. Sprayed out of play, straight off the ground. Tom Jonas, the captain, wearing the #1 jumper, as is the tradition at this famous footy club. That's going to go straight back into the chest of former Port Adelaide defender Dougal Howard. Squaring ball to Carlisle. Caulfield.
Great kick by Howard, and Brett Ratton wants them to do that, take the game on.
Sinclair worked it out to Marshall.
Wheel and go, that's good as well from Marshall.
High ball. Land on the head of King, and in the end it was a pretty simple mark for Westhoff.
This is now into the hands of Sam Mays. Played 101 games in 6 seasons at the Brisbane Lions. Saw an opportunity at Port Adelaide, originally from South Australia. And now Farrell and the Power work it to the wing. Hunter Clark did it really well. Got it away from Robbie Graydon, an easy thing to do. Rosie. And a nice little party trick there from Connor Rosie. Now a chance going back with a fly. Georgiades. He can fly, this young man. Second game of AFL football. Puts it into the corridor, and Ebert. Superb effort. Flew in from the side, and he goes back about 40 metres directly in front.
Put that in a good spot. Georgiades, the second gamer. What about his dad's debut, Georgiades? John Georgiades from the Western Bulldogs. Kicked 8 goals in his debut against Carlton at Princes Park.
Round 1, 1989, that was Richo, John Georgiades, and his son, his second game, was instrumentally involved in that one. Brad Ebert couldn't quite get it through.
Kicked 15 in his first 3 games, John Georgiades.
Carlisle to bring the footy back in. Speaking of father-son, social media's blowing up about Duke's old man getting his hair shampooed half-time in an AFL game, a footy VFL game.
We're not proud of it, Joe, but
disbelief everywhere as they'll go back in through Wines. That's nice. And here is Georgiades. Directly in front, 45 out. What's the young man got?
Kicked a couple in his first game.
Mitch Georgiades.
I would say no one will ever kick 8 goals in their first game ever again.
Product of Hale School, fine football school in the West, Subiaco Footy Club. Very good look at it, and we get a good look at it. Beautiful. He struck that superbly. It'll settle the young man down. Nice strike.
Mitch Georgiades straight on, makes an impact, takes a mark, then takes another mark, kicks a goal. Just his second game after playing round 1. Hurt the calf in round 1 where he kicked a couple of goals, and we know Port Adelaide super excited with Rosie, Dersma and Butters last year, but certainly they've got Georgiades coming in this year. They've also got Williams, and Mead, and they also think that these boys haven't made the impact that the others did last year, but they're equally as happy with what they've got from the draft for them.
Yeah, when you think of what Connor Rozee, Zach Butters and Xavier Dersma did for this club last year, it completely changed the whole place, gave the Power a huge amount of excitement. Here's Darcy Byrne-Jones. He's as rock solid a half-back as there is in the game at the moment, Darcy Byrne-Jones. Never makes a mistake, jams that one out wide. And they are building a really nice list, aren't they? Georgiades, you can see on screen there. He launches at the ball nicely.
He's a good size. You're right about Byrne-Jones, just ultra consistent down back now. He's had 13 disposals. Down the other end, Hunter Clark, another exciting young player, has had 13 disposals.
Dersma just got that off the side of the boot, out of bounds.
Really developing nicely, Hunter Clark now for the Saints.
Sinclair to Jaron Geary. There is Hunter Clark. Dougal Howard. Where does this kick go? He decides to bite the long one off down the line. And Hill, beautiful running, pumps it in the Marshall direction, free kick. And it's going to Paddy Ryder.
Yes.
He can't believe it again, Tom Jonas. I think he's saying his arms went around the umpire. Let's take a look. Great work by Brad Hill. Yeah. But Ryder's probably went around him as well. I think Jonas went first, though.
So Paddy Ryder from the set shot for the Saints' third. Then he jams it through.
If you put the ball into dangerous spots on the ground and defenders are one-on-one, I mean, quite often they do panic and give away free kicks. And that was just a great kick from Hill. He got it to a legitimate one-on-one situation there with Ryder and Jonas.
Paddy Ryder kicks the goal on the back of a free kick. Sometimes we show the big ruckmen draw more free kicks when they go forward. They're used to using their body in a boundary throwing situation. Defenders get a bit nervous. So they've got Marshall and Ryder now as pretty capable forwards, haven't they, swapping out of the ruck?
It's a great combination. And Ryder did well there. He made good early contact with Jonas, and that's what forced the arms around.
Seb Ross's kick has been marked by that man again, Darcy Byrne-Jones.
He reads the play well, doesn't he? Darcy Byrne-Jones.
Coming up for disposal number 14, equal most on the ground. Just an old-fashioned, no-nonsense, get the job done player. Byrne-Jones, there's Georgiades. Nice sign, he had a look out wide and enough composure to send it down the middle of the ground. And Marshall got back and it dropped into the hole perfectly for him, Todd Marshall.
Because Georgiades didn't muck around. Just get it in there. Give guys like Marshall a chance to compete in the air. If you're going to go long, you might as well go straight away and quickly into your forward 50. That's what Georgiades did.
8 goals, 7 for the year coming into tonight. Todd Marshall had a personal best 15 disposals last week. Another improving player. He's very good Port Adelaide side. That kick's got to get a bit left to right about it. Oh, it faded late and it got there. Late in swing. And Todd Marshall kicks his first goal of the night.
It wasn't going through until the last metre and a half of its flight, that ball. No wind, as we heard from Abby before. It's just a natural bend to the ball.
Nice contested mark by Georgiades. And often when you just wheel and go quickly, The forwards then react behind the footy. Marshall just sneaks that one through. So the quick answer from Port Adelaide after the Ryder goal. Really even contest, though.
Here we go.
Ryder just allowing Laddams to jump past the footy. Jones extracts it, a little hot for Gresham. Dersma, Houston. Nicely done by Patton.
Play on!
Hasn't gone far enough. Caulfield. Invested plenty in him too, out of the draft. Long for Membry. It's busted out of his hands.
It's been a good move putting him and Clark into the back half of the ground. They're just developing really well back there for the Saints. High draft picks.
Stupid as this sounds, Richo, you like seeing him punch the ground before two when you lose a one-on-one. It just shows that it matters to a young player. He's got a big upside in him, Caulfield. This long and wide one's going to end up in the hands of Cleary. Over the top now, Bonner. Closed down by Hill. And we'll have a ball up.
Justin Westhoff obviously staying in the side this week has provided a bit of support with some height at the back because Port are undermanned a little bit in defence. So we're seeing Peter Laddams come back a lot in there and also Westhoff to provide that assistance to their defenders.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Here come the Saints again off the boot. Zach Jones. King in front, out the back now, chance. If it sits, and Membry got it off the ground and got it through. Well done, Tim Membry. Richo made the observation earlier that he's enjoying life in the forward line with Max King, Rowan Marshall, Paddy Ryder. You can see he's got some big bodies around him, Tim Membry. And that allows him to get off the leg rope a little bit. An important goal as we close in on half-time.
Really good game here. Jones just bangs it in, and it's unforgivable when you're a defence. You just cannot allow it to get out the back. And you see you had Butler and Membry racing onto that one. Be disappointed with that, the Port defence. Good game, this. St Kilda gets the answer now. Goal for goal. Brad Hill. Form's been down a little bit, but had a good game so far tonight. I hope he wasn't mentioning there was something wrong with his hamstring there.
Steele looked to Gresham. Flicked it to Patton. Now Port Adelaide arrive in number. Just the strength through the core of Powell Pepper. A little fumble. Goes back and gets it again. That's illegal disposal. And 50. After the ball was kicked away.
50 metres. 45
Will
out,
this
Steve-o.
50 take the kicker?
Just past the 50 on the numbered 50.
So you can hear the umpire helping out his mate with exactly the right spot. So Nick Hind from long range to give St Kilda the lead. Courtesy of a 50-metre penalty. As we approach half-time, big kick. Has he got the trip? No. I reckon it was touched on the line, although the goal umpire's happy with what he sees.
Backed himself in.
Jeez, I was with you, JB. That looked like at least a score review, but I like it. The goal umpire's happy.
Yeah, he's backed himself in. The goal umpire, they'll be having a look at it anyway. We know that they do, so. This
That's
is
all
the
good.
review.
So that gives the Saints the lead as we close in on half-time behind the 50-metre penalty. And Well done to the goal umpire here. No score review required.
Perfect positioning there. Look at him.
Automatically, that's reviewed as a matter of course. So we're keeping an eye on Bradley Hill too. We thought might have had a bit of an issue with his hamstring. We'll try and get to Abby shortly to find out if that is the case. That would be a body blow for the Saints. Jack Steele's cleaned up a Port midfielder. We'll get an eye on who that is in a moment. The play continues on. Connor Rosie, look at the skill, look at that. It threw that out for sure. Not called from the umpire. Seb Ross sends it back the other way. And Mays takes a good mark. Houston's got back up to his feet, which is a great sign. And then straight up the middle. Go the power. Dixon crunch the pack. Ebert's had some good moments. Managed to get boot to ball. 16 seconds remaining to half-time. Robbie Gray slid over at the inopportune moment. Over the top tackle applied by Kane Farrell. Let's get down to Abby.
Yeah, guys, Bradley Hill did come off. It's not a hamstring, though. The doctor and physio just had a really good look at that left knee, so I'll hopefully get an update on that at halftime.
Some claret flowing out of Nick Caulfield. We've got seconds to go. And it's going to be Ebert with the last look. He got the kick away, I reckon. But it was a behind. So good game of footy. Caulfield will get in and get patched up at half-time, but his team have a 3-point lead.
A super entertaining game unfolding at Adelaide.
Up Saturday night football, the Saints in front by 3 points. Port Adelaide on top of the ladder, and there is Ryder with that athleticism and skill. Such a weapon. He got it down and well played. They've turned it back over. Butters now. And it's the power go forward first. Charlie's got it. It's his old teammate, Dougal Howard. And the big man was too big and too strong.
Well, that's where he can get a one-on-one because of the 6-6-6. There's no loose players back. So if he can win it in the middle of the ground here at a centre bounce, you can get a one-on-one opportunity, and he hasn't had many tonight. Marshall kept Carlisle out of the way, so a genuine one-on-one. Dixon wins it easily.
15 goals, 11 coming into tonight. Charlie Dixon, the Powers leading goal kicker, Brennan ripping forward. Look at that, like an arrow. Superbly.
He's got a beautiful kicking action, Charlie, hasn't he, Gus?
Really easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Balanced, and he's got that swagger of a big man who knows he's in good form at the moment, hasn't he? He's got a look in his eye.
Yeah, his eyes would light up when they win some ball out of the middle of the ground at the centre clearance. One time where he doesn't have to contend with the third man in coming in, and he can actually use his size. Important smother there by Ollie Wines. That forced the turnover, which gave Dixon the one-on-one opportunity. Well done, Marshall. Just kept Carlisle out of the way, didn't allow him to come in, and third man over the top of Dixon.
Dougal Howard on the mark there too, Richo, so Charlie might have been getting some special stuff mentioned to him. When it's your mate, you can just bring out some extra special stuff.
You've just got a little bit more information you can use, JB.
Didn't bother him, went back and slotted it. Laddams. Kick partially smothered. Wines. He can work it through Farrell. Nice ball from Byrne-Jones. The spread from Laddams. Ebert parked under the footy. Speaking of incredible Port Adelaide names.
You know, one of the best players that would come down and yap at you when you're having a shot at goal, a St Kilda player. Stephen Milne, the tip rat. I'd be laughing sometimes walking in to have a shot at goal with a tipper.
4 or 5 goes at it. Unable to reef the ball in, but he went back and found it again. Got it to Ebert. Kick smothered by Jones. Already good second half intensity. And that ball will be thrown in.
The record he's got, Stephen Milne.
Unbelievable.
He was a great entertainer.
Thank you. I'm going to take it.
Saints fans loved him. He'll be watching at home tonight. Man, you dubbed the tip rat, I think, JB.
Little tip rat, he could feast on a carcass.
Over 500 sausages, I reckon, tipper.
He's in the bracket of all-time great small forwards, Stephen Milne. He'll be enjoying his Saints at the moment. They are a much better side in 2020. This is Zach Jones. He's helped a lot. Playing a good role. It's going to make it a bit interesting with enough composure. Bradley Hill always takes some ground. Love the fact that he just wants to take the game on. So 3 of the new recruits combining here. Jones to Hill to Dougal-Howard. I think he forgot what jumper he was in. Kicked it straight to Todd Marshall out the back. Robbie Gray decided not to fly. Wilkie's dropped one that he needed to take. Gresham, Ollie Wines, contested ball animal. Gresham went back to clean it up. Billings did well to get boot to ball. Byrne-Jones, disposal number 17. Howard, again, might be a bit slippery out there at the moment. They're finding it hard to get a handle on it.
They've really got their press happening now, Port.
Once again, Byrne-Jones never fumbles. Dersmer, he's got some tricks. Off the outside of the boot and out of bounds.
And this is the Port game, though, now. They've started this third quarter off really well. 4 on inside 50s in a row. Look at their defenders there, pressed right up the ground.
Got it jammed in their forward half, that's for sure. Steele. Howard, and that's not connected with well at all. He's kicked it out the full.
Just had a bit of a shaky start to this third quarter, Howard. Turnover. And that one there dropped a mark.
So it's Farrell, ball in hand, and he can strike the footy nicely. Tucked against the line, what's he going to do? Shape a drop punt or the full banana? It's the latter. As he's stuck it in, I reckon he may have just drifted it across the face.
Mention his kicking ability, JB. Kane Farrell is a sweet time with the ball.
Yeah.
Beautiful left foot. This is Carlisle. Faked a little handball to Hunter Clark. Patton smothered before he even kicked that one. Back to Carlisle. They've turned it over again, Richo.
Yeah.
This is what they're good at.
Yeah, they're intercepting now.
Dan Houston sends it down the line. Dixon. He's a big presence on the footy field now. Charlie Dixon to the goal square.
Back to the night.
And Ben Patton did pretty well.
When you're going back with the flight of the ball inside that forward 50, for Port Adelaide, you just know in the back of your mind that Dixon's coming. He's going to compete.
But on that, how courageous Jaron Geary, Richo, with the injuries he's had in his career, to stand in the hole with 105 kilos coming at you, he's just a beauty.
No one more courageous than Geary over his career. Great choice as skipper, I reckon, for the Saints.
Loved at that place for those reasons.
Cracking guy, great leader.
They've got to withhold a bit here, Butters. Houston, repeat entries. Little fumble from Clark, winds. And this time it's across the face again. Soda's down to you.
Yeah, Port Adelaide peppering away now. They have got a problem up forward as Toddy Marshall has come off the ground. Looks like he's just having his thumb assessed at the moment.
Excited, keep an eye on that one. They are under siege at the moment. Robbie Gray caught. To Clark high. That's the umpire. If Houston to get 50 there. Not forthcoming. Just got to withstand this onslaught. You feel the Saints' power have come out and fired everything they can St Kilda's way. Max King got hands to ball once again. It's just coming back, ricocheting back inside 50. Houston's tackle ripped Geary off the ball. Patton standing up pretty well under the heat, and Westhoff now. It's going to come back again.
They just cannot exit defensive 50 at all. It just keeps piling back in. Westhoff laid in for McKenzie. Here he comes, Big Chaz. Just couldn't hang on. Houston arches the back. Laddams wasn't clean. Huge numbers around the ball.
Play on, touch, play on.
Parker, his ball was touched. Dersman dispossessed. Hunter Clark's just got to bash it out of there. Good mark taken, though, by the skipper.
That's their 4th intercept this quarter. They've really got their game going for the first time tonight.
And Hartlett spreads it wide for Butters, who wants to take it on. Can he finish? Didn't get really good contact at all. It got to the back, and Georgiades unable to hang on.
Throw it in.
9 entries, 1 goal, 2 for the quarter so far. So St Kilda's holding up. under huge pressure.
It's relentless stuff at the moment from the power. There's a good look at that condensed push-down zone, trapping the ball inside their forward 50, and it takes a lot of energy to defend like this. Saints working overtime. As Joe said, they're standing up pretty well at the moment. Max King, Riley Bonner. They work it through the hands of Westhoff. Big Laddams, couple of nice steps from the big man. And a little Phil Cracker kick at the end of it.
What is that?
Now the Saints have found a way. Membry. Ken rolled his ankle. Back out there, Parker. Laddams again. Amon's hands okay. Byrne-Jones doesn't ever make a mistake, Darcy Byrne-Jones. Says they're working super hard. Jack Steele. Rowan Marshall had his jumper pulled. And they'll get a bit of relief as Riley Bonner's got an issue.
The heat's on around the footy. It is white hot. Dougal Howard has had a couple of moments in this third term, and it might just be another one. Farrell able to break it up in the air as Bonner limps to the line.
Guys, you can see just there Riley Bonner making his way from the ground. He is in a fair bit of pain. We'll just have a look at the replay there. So he's in the hands of the doctors, and I'll come back to you with an update soon.
Thanks, Ab.
Holding, St.Kilda.
There's some relief as they get a ruck infringement free. They can reset the ground. Been under siege. Start of this third term, the Saints.
Move out.
They've managed to hold up okay. Dumps a high one down the line. King in front. Amon. Laddams. Ball to the back, and Gray, just a nice little toe poke. Wine's got nothing on that. That hasn't gone far enough. Butler off his knee. Got it going forward. Well done by Jonas. But the numbers back here with the Saints and Geary.
Oh, Charlie!
Here's the skipper. Brave as ever. Handball wanted Hunter Clark. He did really well to get through that heavy traffic and found a way to get it to Sinclair. Saints right against the run of play. Membry, he's a 2-foot jumper. And Cleary got it to ground level. Parker picked it up. Over the head of Billings. He'll try and keep it in. Hartlett got hold of him. Sed Ross has got that horribly wrong in the end. Can I ask you about Tim Membry, Richo? You teach every kid when they grow up to jump off one leg. Yeah. It seems to work for him, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does it all the time. And he's done it so well in his career. 100th game here tonight for Tim Membry.
Sam Mays.
Can the Saints get a couple of repeat entries now?
Carlisle, a big thump. Wines honouring the voice of Dersma. The handball just missed.
They got that inside 50, St Kilda, because they came through the middle of the ground, took a risk, paid off. Hunter Clark, it was nearly turned over in the middle. And they're the chances you have to take to get through this Port Adelaide press.
Marshall did well. End-on-end ball forward. King so rarely gets outmarked. Great trait for a young big forward. Membry did nicely. Now it's Port Adelaide's turn to defend. Marshall body lining the ball, just couldn't hang on.
There's Riley Bonner. It's a little sore still. Ground level, you can see the trainers, medical staff just have a word to see how he's going to recover from that one. We'll find out shortly.
Holding.
Adams.
Advantage.
Advantage has been paid. Ollie Wines just a little cute with that one, and Bradley Hill was all over it. So a nice response here from the Saints. They were just under siege, Richo, and they've managed just to take a breath and steady this game up.
And no damage done on the scoreboard after all of those entries.
Paddy Ryder followed up his own work, copped a high one.
High. St Kilda.
Punch from both sides there, Paddy Ryder.
That's a real sandwich. Got it going forward. Hine just couldn't hang on. Byrne-Jones wrapped up in the tackle and couldn't get his hands free to dispose of the ball, or maybe he could. tight game. 1v7. Ryder tried to get it to Gresham. Went and found it at ground level. Byrne-Jones again, nice and clean. Dixon at the back. Strong through the body. Seb Ross did well. Hunter Clark end on end. Here comes King. So clean. Over the top. Looking for Parker. Couldn't get to him. Free kick.
Advantage.
Advantage paid. And Kent's going to walk in. And the Saints get the lead back.
Just have another look at that, but I don't reckon there was a lot in that one. I reckon he's probably a little bit stiff. That free kick for holding. Advantage paid. Kent gets a walk-in goal. So only a couple of entries for the Saints, but they're back in front. Let's watch this contest here. The free kick is paid to Parker. Oh, well, he did have his arm around him, I guess. Yeah, it's there. He's wrapped his arms around. Parker's trying to win the ball. Kent gets the advantage, and well done, St Kilda. Soaked up a heap of pressure down one end of the ground.
Saints get the lead back. Let's get an update from Abby.
Guys, Riley Bonner, good news for Port. He's back on the ground in the Port backline.
Here they come again, the Saints. Sinclair. A little fumble. Accidentally shindied over the boundary line, and umpire was awake to that.
Boys, not dissimilar to Monday night against the Crows, where the Crows had 10 inside 50s in the third quarter in a row, only got 4 behinds, then Butler kicked the goal. Similar things happened tonight with Kent's goal.
Here comes Gresham, a really good kick. He crafted that beautifully. Saw Rowan Marshall and made it impossible to defend. Quality kick, this one, Richo.
Yeah, excellent kick. But there was no touch on there from Jonas. And when you get a quality kick like that, you're never going to be able to make up that sort of ground. A couple of metres he had there, Jonas, on Marshall.
Runner-up the best and fairest last year. He's a talented big man. Normally does this part of the game well. Rowan Marshall's got 2 goals for the night. That is back-to-back goals for the Saints. They are up to their necks in this game. Up by 7 points, and really good response.
Such an obvious thing to say, but doesn't that help when you kick straight, especially interstate? It keeps you in games of footy. Richo, 7-1. And this is their biggest lead of the night, the Saints.
Rowan Marshall kicks his second goal. Really exciting prospect for St Kilda. And there's Travis Boak, hasn't touched the ball this quarter. In fact, only had 1 disposal since quarter time. He's inside forward 50 at the moment. Try and get the former skipper involved in this game, Port.
Houston just couldn't get boot to ball. Not real purchase on that one from Gresham either, but good follow-up from Ryder. Bonner hacked it out of there. Carlisle comes up and meets the footy. There is Travis Boak. Zach Jones is wrapped up in the Marshall tackle. Holds it for a very long time. Now he's gone holding the ball. Todd Marshall. To centre half forward. Oh, from nowhere came Dersma. He has got some attack on the footy, this young man. Single-minded focus.
The ball just dropped short, and he read the flight of the ball really well, but it was his pace that he's got that helped him make up that ground to get that chest mark in front of Ryder.
One of the big three coming out of that draft, Xavier Dersma. He's a beauty. Right through the middle, and there it is. Out came the archer.
Don't you love that? He goes back, kicks the goal, and he's sticking with it. It's his trademark now.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
How many young fellas and young girls are at home, and they just, as soon as he kicks it, they produce it as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's good for footy. You need it. You need characters in the game. Can't be all robots. Beautiful finish from Xavier Dersma. What a great young player. And let's have a look at it. The archer with the bow and arrow out. It's great. It's his trademark. He'll do it for his whole career now.
We love it, Richo. It's great. The Port fans, there you go.
Yeah.
Fire away.
He copped it a bit, though, didn't he, last year? I think he did it in a game and they lost to the MCG. And no, came out the next week and kept doing it.
I think they're brilliant, this group. And you call them the big three, JB. They had an enormous impact last year. Rosie, Butters, Dersma. Changed the face of this club, is Cleary.
I also love the way Ken Hinkley handles them, Duke. He allows them to be themselves and encourages that individuality, which I think is brilliant.
You have to do it. Got to be fun, this game. You got to make sure you let the characters express themselves. Here's another big character, Charlie Dixon. Chips that one out the back. Geary read it better than anyone else. Connor Rosie came at him. Quite a pretty good tackle. Rosie might have hurt himself in the process. Now, Zach Jones. Up and under job, that one. Dean Kent in front. That was a pretty good effort to make sure it got to ground level. Hartlett swoops on it, spears it down the line. Yeah, nice take that was in the end from Farrell. Clever kick normally in front. Carlisle juggled and got it on the second attempt.
Move out.
Jay Carlisle. Back to Callum Wilkie. Good game on a Saturday night. Adams, there's Dersma. Somehow got it to Gray. Marshall. Straight into the bread basket of Bonner.
Hold! Thanks, Dan.
Jonas.
Hold!
Suddenly some space where there hasn't been much at the Adelaide Oval. Dan Houston. Goes back to Jonas.
Look at that. St Kilda have got the ground covered beautifully. Forced Port back. They've lost ground, and now they force the turnover.
Kent it was that created that turnover, and then he dribbles it across the face. Sinclair tries to keep it in. They'll get a forward 50 stoppage.
Great sign of how well they're coached at the moment, St Kilda, isn't it, Richo, to have everyone on the ground making sure they're in the right spot at the right time. Brett Ratton would be super pleased with that.
Yeah, force them back 20 metres and then force the turnover. Now they've got a stoppage inside forward 50.
Saints fans tuning in tonight, they're really excited about their side. Putting up a great account of themselves tonight. From the side, Rosie. Dougal Howard in there as well. Ebert beats the ball, but they're well placed back here. The Saints, Bradley Hill, been positioned there a fair bit tonight. He's played that quarterback role, and you watch him run down the ground. Westhoff got into the play, did a good job, and then walked it over the line. Deliberate. Gone. Look at Chad Collins.
To come on with the ball, Chadwick.
He's fitter than when he played, Chad. There he is.
Not happy still.
Bigger.
I'm not
sure about finish.
He's pushing a bit of steel around, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing the beach weights. There he is. The
It's beach weight sort of stuff, I think.
Premiership player for Port Adelaide, of course. As Dersma slides across. We've got a big final term coming just to point the lead. The Saints only once this year has a team come from behind at three-quarter time to win. Here's Georgiades.
Which team was that, JB?
That was North Melbourne against St Kilda in round 1. It has not happened since. Some 60-plus games, quite amazing. So it feels like a year and a half ago, by the way. But the Saints, if they can get to three-quarter time and point up, statistically, they're in good shape.
24 seconds to go. Three-quarter time.
And the Saints know that, because you can see Membry, who's taken himself down as a spare player in defence.
Clean possession initially from Marshall. Jones has forced that handball forward, and they're going to pay that deliberate as well. Listen to the Port fans.
Oh, you watch out, Sam.
Just about impossible, you'd think, for Port Adelaide to score from here. With Membry back there now, numbers back. The Saints know the quarter's nearly over.
Making some serious noise, the Power fans. Jonas. Launches really nicely at the ball, Georgiades. This is the second gamer. Some good signs from him. Close, confined space. There is Georgiades again to Laddams, Robbie Gray. And there's your three-quarter time siren. Do not go anywhere. This is going to be a grandstand finish. The Saints lead the Power by 1 point at three-quarter time.
Some poor decisions and skill errors creeping into the Saints game early in the third, and as you said, so does a credit to Port Adelaide's defence and the lack of any time and space for the Saints to get an effective disposal away. But to their credit, they absorbed it. They didn't concede on that scoreboard. 1 point in it, 1 quarter to go, guys. A huge final term to come.
Strap yourself in for this one. So much at stake. The Saints eyeing off third spot on the ladder. And Port Adelaide, if you can bank wins in a condensed season, Richo, get out in front. The opportunity to manage your players and your list better is just enormous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. With the short turnarounds coming up, it's a big advantage to have if Port could get out to 7-1. They've only lost the one game this year, as we know, against Brisbane. It's the only time they lost the contested possession in a game. And the Saints are currently just up in that area. So they've done so much right here tonight, St Kilda. This would be a huge result for them to move into the top 4.
Big smile on his face, Bradley Hill. You love seeing that, don't you? Part of a number of trades that have made their way across. Dan Butler this year, Bradley Hill, Dougal Howard, who's got the big job, and Charlie Dixon, Zach Jones, have all had a huge impact.
Yeah, and there's some Port players that need to lift a little bit in this last quarter for them to win. Powell Pepper, Rosie and Travis Boak didn't touch it in that third quarter.
Ryder initially elected not to jump. Laddam's got his hand on the footy. Darcy Byrne-Jones has been supreme back there. Oh, Houston slipped over. Had the support arriving in Carl Lamon, and that's a well-directed kick.
Got a good leg, hasn't he?
So too this man, Richo, Kane Farrell, kicked a couple of beautiful goals last week. Really nice timer of the ball. Charlie Dixon, Dougal Howard. That's going to be an important matchup in this last quarter. Smashed forward. Hunter Clark's been good for the Saints. Got it to Ross. Sold his man Steele into a lot of trouble. Went back, hacked it out of midair. It was a good move. Marshall goes back and can't keep it in.
Huckleberg Clark's hands there. In traffic, heavy traffic. He had to sort of adjust his handball late to get through. He's a really good young player.
Just coming off the boot. Was it over the line? Robbie Gray, they need a lift from. Port Adelaide, Richo, just 4 possessions. Arguably their best player. Boak's handball broken up.
It's tough. You see Travis Boak there with Steele right behind him. He is a hard man to get a kick on Steele.
Hill out of play. There he is, Robbie Gray. See too many times when he is at the bottom of a stat sheet.
You just know, though, even if he's having a quiet night, he only needs, in a tight game, he's the player that will end up kicking the winning goal, as he did last week.
His good 5 minutes are extraordinary. There is Clark. He's emerging in front of our eyes. Hill, long ball forward. Jonas, a big double fist over the line.
Saints in attack. Big Rowan Marshall and Laddams. Marshall got the fist in. Pepper overran the footy. Hartlett's tackle just lingered a little long on Bradley Hill. Oh, that was reckless from Gresham.
So that's gone, is it? Kicking in danger?
Appears to.
Below the knees.
That used to be another rule.
Well, that's gone as well, the below the knees. So there's the first one.
Adams' head was a couple of centimetres further back than it would have been something nasty. Marshall, very hard man to dislodge, Rowan Marshall. And a boundary throw.
I'm not happy the Port Bears. Hunter Clark's up to 23 disposals now. The most on the ground. Here's the Telstra tracker. Jack Billings, 10 kilometres tonight.
Houston. Good result for Port Adelaide. Rosie able to steady things down. High and long, but only Saints in the air in the end. There's Clark. Held up.
Ball's pinned in. There's 2 tacklers. Thank you.
Steele. Just tumbles it forward. Cleary, resolute defender. Where's he going with the kick? He's fanning it out. Sinclair maybe got a touch, and the ball's over.
There's the last 10 inside 50s. The Saints have had a bit of time in their forward half after kick the first goal. Doing a real arm wrestle this one all night. Marshall cleverly down. Seb Ross. Remember, he's got to fly. Beautifully taken from Hines. Slick handball out. Gresham's going to kick the first goal of the last quarter. And the Saints get a big goal. Jade Gresham, the work from Hine, front and centre, and the slick handball out. It was really special, and Saints will be very, very excited with that. Jade Gresham puts up a signal somewhere. Occasionally, Richo and JB, you just got to pay respect to the big man when you give silver service like that. Beautifully done, Marshall, and I love what Nick Hine did too under a confined situation, set up the goal.
Yeah, great bit of ruck work from Rowan Marshall. Kicked a couple of goals tonight. Now he's providing service like that for his smaller on-ballers.
St.Kilda, 6 of the last 9 goals of this match, as you can see. They now have a 7-point lead against the best team in the comp. Away. Ryder kicked it straight into the legs. There's Gray. Amon. Not a great ball. Wines has got to make it work. He goes inside 50. Almost Rosie. Here's Georgiades. Handball back to Wines. And that's nice to Pepper. The Powers first of the night. They need one from him now. Sam Pepper. Big kick in the context of the evening. To the northern end at the Adelaide Oval, and never really looked online.
Callum Wilkie picks off the short ball. Hunter Clark has had more possessions than anyone on the ground tonight. Hunter Clark, 24 disposals. Darcy Byrne-Jones, next best on the list for Port Adelaide with 20. Pattern, so they're just working their way forward. steadily here, the Saints. That kick, well, it always looked like it was going to be taken by Dersma. What can he do? Took a bounce, short one on Robbie Gray. This is his pocket. Kicked the winner from not dissimilar a spot, Richo, last week.
Very similar. And they're not deep pockets at the Adelaide Oval, so the angle here is not as severe as it may appear.
JB, you've been all over his left to right bend. Just a little slight curve he gets at the end. Not many get the left to right. Most go the other way. Tom Hawkins tends to bend them that way as well, and he knows this spot very well. Kicked the winner last week, Robbie Gray. Looks good again. Can it get that bend back just on the line? It has been worked through for a rush behind, so 5-point lead to the Saints.
Wilkie. Long and wide to a 1v2. It gets through the hands of Parker.
Holding up.
It's going to come to King, I think. So Max King. Just dumps a long one. Laddams almost uncontested in the end. Powell Pepper, Byrne-Jones.
Look at that. Steele's just sweating on Boak.
To Gray. He just couldn't quite handle a pretty hot footy. Carlisle. Marshall. Seb Ross, but it's going to be Laddams who picks it off. And then he steers a wide one to Boak. Boak checks the kick. And through came Caulfield.
Membry with that trademark double foot jump. Took a good mark. Max King's been quiet. Westhoff.
Good win.
Too much experience there, Richo.
But didn't you love that play? Oh, no.
Oh, what's he done there? Justin Westhoff. Ken Hinkley. You didn't need to be a great lip reader to understand what was going through Kenny's mind right there. Cannot believe. Look at the target. It's a 15-metre kick. He went back on it, Justin Westhoff, and shanked it.
That play on from Membry, but it was just fantastic. That quick play on. That wasn't fantastic. It was just, he was on the back foot.
Dan Butler, 14 goals for the year. He has been one of the outstanding recruits of the year. Premiership player with the Tigers. Directly in front, Dan Butler. That's how you do it. Dan Butler kicks a huge goal. Gives the Saints a 11-point lead. It's their biggest lead for the night. And Justin Westhoff, there is a hole not big enough that you want to jump in, Richo, this stage. He's been an outstanding player, but you just hate those moments, don't you? Everyone's had them before.
15 goals now for Butler. Just having a terrific year. So Westhoff wins the battle there with a great contested mark off on King, but just didn't steady his weight forward. His weight was still on the back foot. And Butler, 2 goals tonight, multiples again. What a recruit.
They picked 9 goals, 1 tonight, the Saints, and the 1 was a ball that hit the post. So they've kept themselves in great shape by being accurate with their set shot goal kicking. Marshall now in the middle, Laddams as well. Jones goes back and tracks it on the ground. And then Archers, the back, did that pretty well. Wobbles it forward. Well done, Kent. Got some real momentum here, the Saints.
Separation, King.
Here's King, big fly, just couldn't hang on. Cleary now. Butters can get and go, it just didn't quite sit for him. And then he got pushed over the line.
Plenty of time, 8.5 minutes, 11-point lead to the Saints. And they are on the verge of something special. This can be a season-defining win, you suspect, tonight, if the Saints can hold on from here. Great confidence. Somehow Ron Marshall from behind's come up with that. Look at the Port Power fans. They are going off their rocker. Must have had a bit of jumper. Adams, umpire in good shape to call it. Marshall, long bomb to the square. That's old-fashioned footy. Max King, Ryder, second attempt. Oh, he snuck it home, Paddy Ryder. Here come the Saints. That is a massive goal. There's a handful of Saints fans. Paddy Ryder against his old side. And 17 points.
That's huge.
There's a huge way back from there, Richo, all of a sudden.
Yeah, that is massive now.
It's those ruck infringement frees. I lean on you, Duke. You're the ruckman here. When they both turn around, the umpire and have no idea who's about to receive the kick.
It's a lucky dip, isn't it?
It's a big penalty, isn't it?
So look at this here. Paddy Ryder competes for the mark. Just what skill from the big man there. Massive. This is going to be a big, big win for the Saints. Put them into the top 4. A big scout, top of the ladder, Port Adelaide. Really announced themselves as a serious contender this year.
Never won at this ground before last week. On track to do it twice in 2 weeks. Or inside a week, actually. What can Port Adelaide do? Steele, Sinclair. It's all going one way. Almost Kent. Hartlett wrapped up in a very good tackle.
No chance. Stand up, please. Thank you.
Hamish Hartlett. They cannot concede here. Houston tumbles it out of there. Butters held on too long to the jumper of Patton.
So that ruck combination, Marshall and Ryder, they've got 4 goals out of them tonight. That's a big, big win.
Opposing figures, a big ruckman deep forward. Very hard to outmark. Here's Ryder again. He's got some skills too. Butler was nearly through, sizing up another opportunity, and that would have been just about good night if he had got through. They're just hanging in there, the power at the moment. Let's get down to Abby.
Guys, some sore boys out there. Seb Ross has come to the bench and has a left calf complaint. He's gone straight down to the rooms with the medical staff, so hopefully I'll have an update on that very soon.
Ball in. The ball is living in St Kilda's forward half. Hind. Handball back. Steele. Sideways one. That's a high tackle. Surely on Parker.
I could not tell. I with the body. I couldn't tell from where I was.
Free kick?
I can hear the umpire saying he couldn't tell. Wow.
I couldn't see from where I was.
Off.
There it is, Paddy, Peter.
Good honesty from the umpire. If he can't see it, he can't pay it, I guess. Steele. Left foot ball.
Oh, Membry.
And through off the fist of Tom Jonas.
Really strong, even performances from the Saints. Let's have a look at Ken Membry. That was ambitious.
Got to go down the middle. Got to kick 3 goals.
Molly Bonner.
Having a look at this, maybe.
Wow. So the field umpire reckons called for this. So, geez, that might be a goal. I reckon it's been fisted onto the boot. That will be a goal.
Yeah. Looks it, doesn't it?
I think they'll overturn that.
Jeez.
That is something from nothing, is it? Look at that.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, the ball comes off the St Kilda attacker's boot last before crossing the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
So the score review, well done to the field umpire. Big overturn. Tim Membry with a miracle goal.
Jeez.
And there's crickets going on at Adelaide Oval. They are not happy over there.
What sort of a night are you having when that happens? Yeah. 11 goals won, and the karate kick, Hail Mary, comes off. Nuts. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it, Tim Membry.
Cristiano Ronaldo would have been proud of that one, Das.
It's just the fact that that went through your head as an option.
Yeah.
In itself. And look at the reaction, Tim Membry. 4 goals now in a row in this last quarter. Saints by 23 points.
Just had a big win around the footy in the clearances and contested possession. Port don't lose that very often. What a win.
10 straight to 4-7 since quarter time. That is extraordinary. That's how you beat the best team in the comp on the road. And this final term, they have owned territory. Massive performance this from St Kilda. Port win this, they're almost 3 games clear on top, so to stare them down interstate and win is just nuts. Butler couldn't quite keep it in.
By the last time that St Kilda beat Port Adelaide, way back 2011, round 16 at Footy Park, they got up by 56 points. None of the Saints on the field tonight actually played. Geary was an emergency.
So does go back to 2011. They had a very, very good team, Port Adelaide. That was right in their sweet spot. So Boak, defensive half. Dersma, they've just got to take every risk, and even then with 6 minutes left, it'll take a minor miracle. Boak gets it and goes down the line. And out of play.
Saints fans sitting at home, 6 minutes to go. They'll be enjoying every minute of this, Richo.
And you're talking about the 4 goals they've got out of Marshall and Ryder, Das. They've also had 17 hit-outs to advantage to Port Adelaide's 4. So that's really helped them get first use of the footy, and that's helped them win the inside 50 battle.
Saw Rowan Marshall again there. He's a super impressive acquisition for the Saints. Mentioned a couple of times he was running up their best and fairest last year, Seb Ross. And just got that look about him. He's only played 41 games as of tonight, but he's going to be a super player for them for a long time. Jonas, very effective score, that one. Butler in there. And back to Jonas. Bonner, little 1-2. Justin Westhoff sends them to half forward. Carlisle, Georgiades. And Saints are coming up with all the big plays whenever they need it. Sinclair sold himself in a bit of trouble, though.
They've got time and space to get themselves out of that trouble. So this is the 67th game of the year, and only once has a team trailing at three-quarter time won.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Out of 67 games, St Kilda got their noses in front at three-quarter time. And they're going to go ahead and win this game, you sense. Mays with a high one forward. Dougal-Howard slides in. Takes in the end an uncontested mark and distributes to Hill. Now they've got players out everywhere. The damn wall may have just busted open. Gresham. Long ball forward. Butler's got out the back. The ball just wouldn't sit for him.
Guys, Seb Ross is back on the interchange bench. He's got that left calf heavily strapped. You would think that they've got this game sewn up. And as we know, there's a lot of footy to be had over the next couple of weeks, so I wouldn't risk putting him back out there.
Thanks, Abby. Someone had said back in January that the Saints would be based in Noosa. They'd fly to Adelaide twice and win 2 games in 5 days. You'd be institutionalised, Richard.
Absolutely.
Saints fans at home, they will be really proud of their side. This is a huge night for them.
It is huge. What about the Saints supporters that have waited a long, long time? They look like they're serious contenders this year and can't get to see their team play. There's a few there in Adelaide that can, though.
Free kick to big Rowan Marshall again on told they're closing in on a record membership. The Saints have got a lot of things right off the field. Coach Brett Ratton's a ripper. Lots of quality people around the St Kilda Footy Club at the moment. And big wins like this are season defining. Here is Marshall. He loves the long bomb. Ryder at the back, in front, Max King. Oh, a bit of icing on the cake here. Good grab. There it is, Richo, the big forward. What do you make of this?
Look at him, look at his eyes. Played tall. He's 200 centimetres with long arms. If he can jump, which he did then, he didn't get caught up in a wrestle.
Leans back, Maxi King, 5 unanswered goals. And the Saints with a big win.
He just did it perfectly. Floated in from the side. He didn't get grounded, caught up wrestling, used all of his height. Great mark. Been a hard night, but he's worked hard, he's competed, and he gets a little bit of reward late. We've had 8 goal kickers tonight. 12 goals, 8 different goal kickers. Look at this again here, Marshall. Sorry, King from the side. That's a great mark.
Max King talked to Matty Lloyd, had a lot to do with the Haileybury footy program, which is an incredibly successful footy program. And he said a couple of years ago, Richo, you wait till these King boys get a hold of the AFL. Yeah. They are both nuts. And you're starting to see it. It's so good, 200 centimetres. Pick it up off the shoelaces, catch it in the air, agile, quick, smart.
Nice kicks as well. No, really nice kicks.
They are going to have a big time in this competition. Butler, long ball inside 50, heading in the same direction. To the front, Jones. They've completely dominated this final term, St Kilda. This is Billings. Ball has hardly been inside Port Adelaide's forward half in this final term. Couldn't have been more impressive. Long ball from Billings. And that's going to come out of play to be thrown in.
It's just a really comprehensive win. They've won it around the contest. They've won the inside 50 battle.
Watershed night for the Saints. And let's check the live ladder. That puts them into 3rd position. They slide past the Bulldogs, and a couple of huge wins in 5 days. Very hard to win here at the Adelaide Oval. Any time.
And just again, they're recruiting over the summer. Butler's kicked a couple. Ryder's been fantastic tonight. He's kicked a couple. His ruck work's been outstanding. Zach Jones, 8 clearances, 13 contested possessions.
They're good signs all round, aren't they? Ben Long out suspended for a couple more weeks. I'd like to get Josh Battle back and Luke Dunstan, so there's a bit of depth as well for the Saints. Here's Marshall, goes back with a flight. Really good player, Marshall. That handball just a little wide for Dougal Howard. This is Todd Marshall for the power, and that kick picked out Billings.
Celebration time for the Saints. We'll go back to those glory years, 09, 10, 11, when they really were flying in this competition. To see them up in the top 4. It's been a patient rebuild. It looks like it's starting to bear some fruit. Patience is a word not a lot of people have got in AFL footy, have they? They want success in a minute, or they want administration's gone and coaches gone. But if you stick with your strategy, you can get it right. Billings, just a little one looking for Marshall. Goes and finds it. End-on-end ball. There is Max King, and he fights hard. Sinclair came in late. Mays over the top of the footy. Westhoff dispossessed. Wines. Byrne-Jones footy over.
As you said, JB, a number of times when you kick 12-1.
It helps, doesn't it?
It certainly helps.
Oh, they're in fine voice. There's been a small but happy contingent of Saints fans in that pocket. And they're singing, soaking up this last 30 seconds. Bradley Hill. Nick Hines, an impressive player as well. This one from Gresham. Awkward ball to handle. Marshall got involved. Sinclair heard the voice of Billings. Managed to keep it in.
So 12 seconds for a famous win. 2 in a row at the Adelaide Oval. They hadn't won here ever before. Now they've beaten Adelaide and Port inside 6 days. And Saints fans everywhere are going to love this. There it is. Dougal Howard loves it. They love it. Saints fans everywhere punching the air. Well done. When the Saints go marching in, oh how I want to be with St.Kilda. When the Saints go marching in. 29 points. It was emphatic in the end. Led by 1 point at three-quarter time, so that final term, it was all St Kilda.
Yeah, it was. Outstanding final quarter. There's only been 3 teams in history that have won kicking only 1 behind for a match. One of the 1897 and 1900. So it hasn't happened for 120 years, JB.
Well, as I said, when you find a way to do the miracle flying scissor kick and it comes off someone's hand and goes through, you know you're having a good night.
That was Tim Memory's goal. If you didn't catch it, stay with us tonight. Want more to get through post-game. There is Tim Memory. I think he's reliving a bit of that. It was something the likes of which you've almost never seen before. And that's huge. They get on a plane after the game, Richard. They fly back tonight, back to Noosa.
Nice warm Noosa. Have a swim tomorrow.
They'll be enjoying hub life. When you're winning, it's good.
Saw a really nice moment too. Ken Hinkley going over to Paddy Ryder and congratulating him. He's a quality individual, Ken Hinkley.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so happy for Brett Ratten as well. Getting another crack at senior coaching, and that snapshot we had before the game on the pre-game show where he just talked about them taking the game on. We want to play an exciting brand of footy, and they are. They're great to watch.
Abby, down to you.
I am here with Paddy Ryder, guys. Now, you personally have played a lot of footy at Adelaide Oval, but for the Saints, they hadn't won here ever. And now you've got 2 wins in just the week. How proud of you of your boys and your performance tonight?
Oh, look, we know the journey that we're on, and you know, we're not one of the top teams going around, but you know that's what we're striving for, and you know we just keep putting in the work every week and believe in ourselves and go after our game. And yeah, I'm really proud of the boys tonight. Hard to come down here and get a win against Port, especially with the crowd in here. I'm not sure how many Saints are in here, but yeah, a bit daunting.
Well, you're currently a top 3 side, so that's very, very impressive. But what was the plan coming in tonight against Port Adelaide? As we know, they don't have too many weaknesses in their side, but you guys have played them beautifully tonight.
Yeah, look, obviously, having liced it out, we saw that as an area where we can get on top a little bit. So myself and Rowan try and give the boys first use in there. And then just to match them all over the ground, really. You know, Port, they've come out, played really well this year, and you know, no weakness all across the board for them. So we just had to match them, and for us, we end up doing that most of the night.
And you personally, you enjoying life as a Saint? You really seem to be enjoying your footy at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. Heading to a new club. You know, it takes a little bit to fit in, but the boys have welcomed me in, and they're a lively bunch. Look at them.
They are, aren't they?
It's awesome to come down here. You know, I miss playing at this place. I love this oval, and yeah, it's good to come get the win.
Well, congratulations, Paddy. I'll let you go and enjoy it with the boys, but brilliantly played.
How good. Big smile on his face.
Yes.
You can't enjoy winning 2 games in a row on the road And you can see here, Ken Hinkley, that's a nice touch. Down to you, Sodas.
Zach Jones, mate, pretty remarkable. 5 days, you've been here twice, and you've got them both. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think we embraced it from the start. We knew we were coming back down here, so the boys were really excited to get back down here, and we got a good win the first week. So,
how much belief did you take out of that game last week when Adelaide came within those 9 points, and you were able to get away from them again? And again, Port challenged you in this third quarter.
Yeah, I think we were very confident. We spoke about it during the week against Fremantle that we didn't execute our game plan. And then the following week, there was a big focus for the week coming in, and we needed to execute. And I felt like we did that against Adelaide. We held them off when they came, and we actually had opportunities to strike back.
New club for you, some targeted recruiting with Butler and Ryder, as we saw there, and Brad Hill, Dougal Howard, a great night for him. It's been very nicely done by St Kilda.
Yeah, I think we've fit in pretty well. They've welcomed us with open arms, so it's been a great opportunity to be a part of the club.
Now, Hub Life, of course, you've got to go back with Essendon on the flight tomorrow after they play the Crows, so you get a full day tomorrow to absorb in Adelaide.
Yeah, so I think we'll do our review tomorrow. With short weeks coming around at the moment, we've got to kind of get things rolling pretty quickly and get the bodies feeling good again.
A month of footy in Queensland coming up for you. It'll be a big one next week too against your old team.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It should be a good one.
Congratulations, mate. Well done on the win. Third on the ladder now.
Yeah, it's exciting.
They like their tats in the Jones family.
Yes.
Nate's pretty well covered, and Zach's got him going too.
Gee, it was good tonight, Zach, wasn't he?
They were wonderful, the Saints. This is what's coming up. Both coaches will get around the grounds, and the most coveted prize in television.
That is going to be something to look forward to, JB. And I believe Alistair Clarkson's had something to say on Tom Patley. So you want to hear about that in Footy Central, make sure you stick with us.
We can't wait. Well done to that group on television. Wonderful performance. Well done to Brett Ratton. 2 wins in a row in Adelaide.
Did you see all the Brats getting around, all the play? They love him. You can really tell there's a strong connection between the St Kilda boys and their new coach, Brett Ratton.
You look at Brats' record at Carlton. They had them into finals regularly. Their win-loss record was great. You would imagine you just evolve and get better. He had some time with Alistair Clarkson. I think he was the standout choice.
Yeah.
Brett Ratton from the outside.
Great choice. He'd be a great relationship builder, I reckon, around the club with all of these young players. All of the players, but you can just see the connection there that he's got with them. That's so important.
They went within a kick at the Blues of winning a final against West Coast at Subiaco Oval. So he was successful there. And as you say, Duke, he's just built his resume, and now he's in charge of this club, and they are flying. Simon Lefleen at the back there is a happy man. Not too many better feelings in our game than winning on the road.
So good.
Sammy Hamill up the back there, big smile on his face.